Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Alright, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who teach and rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect Akim. Alright, teaching this truth. Alright, through the four ends of the world. I want to say Shalom to the elect of Israel, the house of David, the Bayath Shah Dawadah. Alright. The men, women, and children listening and learning and striving for salvation. Alright. And salvation is only for the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, including the speckled bird whose father's line goes back, alright, to the 12 tribes of Israel. Alright. This lesson we're going to get into, alright, is going to be, about, having faith. We're going to be using Gideon, the story of Gideon, when he took out the Midianites as an example. Alright. And having that confidence, alright, we have to, as it says in Hebrews, the fourth chapter, stand professing our faith with great boldness. And actually, let's get that. Alright. We have to be bold in this thing. The spirit of Yahweh Shai was a austere man. Alright, and there's going to be plenty of times where, in Jacob's trouble, we're going to be tested. Alright, so Hebrews 4:16 says, "Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need." Okay, but we have to come boldly, trusting that, trusting and believing that Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us. Okay, and really clinging on to that faith, as it also says in the Apocrypha. Alright. That alright. I'm gonna start at 1. Sirach 2:1 says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." Okay? These precepts, and knowing the ways and using these events that happened before us, from that happened to, the Israelites before us and how they were delivered, that's going to give us strength, to and confidence that the Lord is going to do the same thing again. As it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, there is nothing new underneath the sun. All right. And then, going to show that, in that verse, that things will happen again. Just as the Israelites were delivered from Egypt, we're going to be delivered from Babylon the Great, aka America, and the elect, from across the world. And the rest of the elect from across the world. All right. But the majority out of America, the United States of America. Okay, so verse 3, this was the point I wanted to get. "Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." All right. So we trying to endure until the end, and that was just a few precepts to get this thing rolling. All right. We're going to start off in the book of Matthew, chapter 10. Just get rid of that. says in Matthew 10 and 26, fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall be revealed, not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. Okay. So in the previous verse, Yahweh Shem Shai was talking about Satan. All right. So we have nothing to fear, in this world, if we're doing the work of the Lord. All right. And staying true to the law, statutes, and commandments, to the best of our ability, and continuing to build our faith, all right, in Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right, the angels campeth around us when two or three are gathered together, Yahweh Shai is in the midst. All right, so the angels watching over us in those chariots, man. All right, we see it on the highways and byways. Okay, and it says, "What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light." All right, those dark sayings, the parables, that were taught, by the apostles and elders of GM, starting with the 100% truth in GMS, coming out of GMS. Okay, that ye speak in light, right? We're out in broad day, but we're speaking these parables, breaking them down, these precepts in truth. All right, bringing out the truth of the matter. All right, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. Okay, where as Yahweh Shai commanded, he said, don't, in the parable of the sower and the seed, what did he say? He said, don't hide, one doesn't light a candle, put it underneath the mattress. Okay, so we got to let that light, this truth, and knowledge be heard. All right, and it says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And that's talking about Yahweh. Okay, Yahweh is the only one that we should have that fear for. Okay, because everything of this earth, is not, is not all powerful. Any one of these false idols doesn't have the ability that Yahweh has. Okay, and okay, our fear of Yahweh by Shem Shai, comes and brings us and brings us wisdom. All right, Proverbs 1:7. Okay, so we know that these devils are gonna come down with great wrath. Esau Edom, aka who they who's a so-called white man. He's gonna be like a madman sparing none. In these latter times, because he knows his time is short. But through all the midst of that trouble, Jacob's trouble, and the hell that we're gonna be feeling. All right, we need to remember these precepts and remember the times of deliverance. Okay, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. All right, is Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Okay, so we gotta when we read the Bible and read stories like the one we're about to get into, that's like it's a sign, and it's it's a sign that shows, we're gonna be delivered once again. All right, and that's how we that's what we should meditate on. The miracles that are about to happen. This is Hebrews 2:1 says, therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip. Okay, so we need to give more attention to this truth. All right, and the truth of the matter is that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, including the speckled birds, who look like the other nations, all right, but their father's line goes back to Israel, all right, we're going to be delivered by the way of chariots, all right, the so-called UFOs or UAPs, all right, that everybody's been seeing now, all right. Yahweh Shai is going to come back and deliver us, his people, as it says in Matthew 1 and 21. Let's read this in the NLT. It says, so we must listen very carefully to the truth we have heard, or we may drift away from it. All right, and earnest and heed, that means going back into, cleave unto him, cleave unto this word. All right, man. Let's read down. It says, for if the word spoken by Jews was steadfast, and every transgression and disobedience received just a recompense of reward, okay, how shall we escape if we neglect so salvation, which at first began to be spoken by the Lord and was confirmed unto us through them that heard him. Okay? Let's get this. It says, God bearing witness, both signs and wonders, and diverse miracles, and gifts of the Holy Spirit, all right, according to his own will. All right? So that goes to show that, that's what the Most High is going to do to deliver us. And that's the only way out of this thing. Is by those miracles and by Yahweh Shai. It says, wait ye upon me. All right. Now we're gonna get into the book of Judges. Okay. And this was what I was reading earlier that brought put the spirit on me to do this lesson. This is Judges 6. Fuck it. Judges 7. And we're gonna start at 9. It says, and it came. So this is after Gideon was commanded to the Lord to weed out his army, and the Most High cut his army down to 300. Okay, 300 men, and you're gonna see Gideon had some doubt still in his mind. Back in the 6th chapter, he already he doubted the Lord already. All right, he said, "Please don't be hot against me." Let's grab that before we get started, because he was asking for signs. And what did we read in Hebrews 2? It says, Yahweh also bearing them witness, both with signs and wonders, and with diverse miracles and gifts of the Holy Spirit, according to his own will. Okay, but Gideon was asked Yahweh for these signs, but when the Most High gave him the sign the first time, he said, please don't be hot. He wanted to verify it again. All right. But he knew that probably in his mind when he said that, please don't be hot against me, that, he probably shouldn't have done that anyways, All right. And this is in, I'm just going to read the second one. This is, after he already showed him. All right. I'll start, Judges 6 and 38. It says, and it was so, because the pre to this was that, based on this sign that Gideon asked for, he was gonna, deliver the Midianites into the hands of Gideon. Okay, Israelites that were in battle. Okay, so it says Judges 6:38. It says, and it was so, for he rose up on the morrow and thrust the fleece together and wringed the dew out of the fleece a bowl of water. All right, that was the sign. All right, it says, and Gideon said unto the Most High, let not thy anger be hot against me, and I will speak but this once. Let me prove, I pray thee, but this once with the fleece. Let it now be dry upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. So that was reversed from the first sign that he already had gotten. It says, and the Most High did so that night, for it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on the ground. So that was the first sign. So kind of gave him a little bit more confidence. But you see in the seventh chapter, he still kind of had doubt. All right. And it says, all right, Judges 7 and 9. It says, but he knew, he begged the Lord, don't be don't be mad with me. I just want to, make sure this wasn't a mistake. All right, and the Most High doesn't make any mistakes. So it says, and it came to pass at the same night that the Lord said unto him, arise, get thee down into the host, for I have delivered it into thy hand. Okay. It says, but if thou fear to go down, go thou with Purah, thy servant, down to the host, and thou shalt hear what they say, and afterward shall thine hands be strengthened to go down unto the host. Then went he down to Purah his servant unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host. And this is where the Most High is going to give Gideon another sign. Before we get that, grab Psalms 144 and 1. It says, blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Okay. So he said after he gets this sign, he's going to be ready for that. And Gideon probably already knew how to fight, but that goes to show that at any moment, hey, the Most High can put the spirit on you, to do great things and become a warrior. Okay. And that's when the Most High gives those the spiritual power to the elect. All right, and be doing incredible acts. All right. Verse 12 it says, and the Midianites and Amalekites and all the children of the east lay along in the valley like grasshoppers for a multitude, and their camels were without number, as the sand by the seed for the multitude. And that's probably why Gideon was still kind of feeling that way, because he's seen the multitude of that army. Okay, and when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, behold, I dreamed a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it, that it fell, and overturned it, that the tent lay along. Okay, I'll read because it explains the dream right here in Judges 7:14. It says, and his fellow answered and said, this is nothing else save the Lord of Gideon, okay, the son of Joash, a man of Israel, for into his hand hath the Most High delivered Midian and all the host. Okay, so that bread, that a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, okay, was the Israelites. All right, that was his army taking out the Midianites. So that gave Gideon. All right, we're gonna read it here. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned to the host of Israel, and said, arise, for the Lord hath delivered into your hand the host of the Midianites. And he gave them, the Lord gave the Midianites into the hands of Gideon. And in that story, he had they had the Midianites were pitched down below, so Gideon had that advantage of being attacking from a higher place. Okay, and when you go into that word right there, the a cake of barley bread, it's Bethlehem, I believe. Same name of the city of what's that? Of Jerusalem, right? Bethlehem. Okay, and Bethlehem is let's get that real quick, just for so I can the city of bread or something. But house of bread. God. So it was symbolic. The house of bread. Okay, birthplace of David. Okay, tumbled and took out. And who were there? It says the Midianites and the Amalekites, right? So we could use these things, to get, confidence. So no matter how hard it gets out here, it's this is gonna happen in another fashion. Or as it says in Daniel, it's a time like no other. So, but nevertheless, the story is already written. This is Acts 2 and 17. It says, and it shall come to pass that in the last days, says the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall see dreams. All right. And on my servants and on my handmaidens, I will pour out those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And you got brothers, giving testimonies of their visions and dreams that they've seen, being delivered, getting spiritual power, all hell breaking loose, Jacob's trouble, but being delivered from that, so those are signs. Saki, those are signs, that the Most High is going to deliver us, man. This is Joshua 1 and read 1 and 9. And it says, have not I commanded thee? So, those things, as it says in Hebrews 2 and 1, we have to keep in the forefront of our mind, man. And continue to pray and believe that these things are going to happen once again. All right, because what did it say? The unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. All right, if you don't believe upon these things, they're not going to come and save you. If you don't believe in that true name, you ain't going to have that strong tower. Joshua 1 and 9, have not I commanded thee, be strong and of a good courage, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy power is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Okay, so we have nothing to be afraid of in this world. All right, the Most High is here for those who serve the Lord. Philippians 4 and 13, it says, I can do all things through Hamashiach Yahushai, or Yahushai Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me. Okay, that's where our true power comes from, the Lord, man. We're a Prince of Power, Yasharallah. All right, and that it comes when we are at one, on the same accord with Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right, that's where our true power comes from. Okay, I already pulled that, and that's gonna wrap it up. So continue to stay strong. Stay rooted in this faith, believe on those miracles, and Yahweh Shem Yahshai is going to deliver his elect. Lord willing, we'll be a part of it. All right, so with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right, and I give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakwadash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. All right, and shalom to the elect.